Well, joining me in the studio now is the Labour MP, Wes Streeting. Wes Streeting, how disturbing is all of this to you?
Well, this has been a pretty dreadful day for the Labour Party and the latest in a string of dreadful days concerning anti-Semitism, whether it's, as we've seen the last couple of days, the actions of members of the Parliamentary Labour Party, today a member of our ruling NEC, but there are plenty of examples also of activists and their language, many of whom actually predate Jeremy Corbyn's leadership. So when I see our leader on television today effectively saying, crisis, what crisis, I think he needs to talk to some of my constituents who are telling me about the struggle they are having with voting Labour, many of whom have voted Labour their entire lives.
And deeply, presumably, you would regard as hurtful to people who suffer anti-Semitism to be called by Jeremy Corbyn people that are just concerned about the strength of the Labour Party at local level.
Absolutely, and I don't understand why Jeremy's linked those two issues. They're certainly not the issues I would link, and today we've had people from across the spectrum of the Labour family speaking out against this, from John Lansman, the director of Momentum on the left of the party, to Richard Angel, the director of Progress on the centre-left of the party.
Because if it is, as I was just saying there, about deflection, surely that is deeply insulting.
Well, and there's been a general issue with the flat-footed response of the Labour Party. That's when the issue first, I think, was on our radar as MPs as a source for serious concern, that we weren't acting quickly enough and sending a clear enough message that we won't tolerate anti-Semitism.
So on the question of Ken Livingstone, the hierarchy will say that he's under investigation and so forth, but in the modern Labour Party, after what's happened, do you think there's a place for Ken Livingstone?
No, I wouldn't be sorry for Ken not to return. And I think in Ken Livingstone's case, he went out today to defend comments which Naz Shah herself didn't defend. To her credit, she said, absolutely, these are anti-Semitic comments, and she expressed regret, remorse and a determination to behave differently in the future, and she'll be judged by how she behaves in the future as well as in the past. But Ken went round the TV and radio studios this morning like a political arsonist, pouring petrol all over a really serious issue facing the Labour Party, and made matters a hell of a lot worse. I don't know what he thought he was achieving. And he's on the ruling NEC, the body that's supposed to enforce the rule book. How can people have confidence that the Labour Party is effectively tackling anti-Semitism when people like him behave in this way? But,
you were saying there that activists are saying, are making anti-Semitic remarks and so forth, and I know that you have been looking for leadership on this.
Absolutely. And let's be clear for a minute. The overwhelming majority of decent-minded Labour Party members will be appalled by what's happened, and it's the responsibility of all of us to speak up, to create an environment where Jewish people and all decent-minded people are included. But Jeremy has a particular appeal and a reach across the left, where in parts of the left where there is a challenge of tackling anti-Semitism. And he is right, he's a lifelong anti-racist. So it's not just he's got the responsibility to act, there is a great opportunity for him to show real leadership.
But John Trickett would say that he's acted very quickly in the case of Livingstone, and reasonably quickly within a 36-hour period on Naz Shah. But what else does he have to do? I know you've been looking for meetings.
Yeah, so Labour members of the All-Party Group Against Anti-Semitism offered to meet Jeremy because I think there are practical things that we can do in terms of the Labour Party's rules, our party structures, to make a practical difference to the problem. We asked for that meeting. We were told it's going ahead after the May elections, but still no date has been fixed. And it just reinforces the idea. And I'm afraid that the comments that Jeremy made later in the day, I think, have fanned the flames further, because it looks like this isn't seen as a priority or as big an issue as I think it is. It's a doorstep issue. We're a week away from elections up and down the country.
And a big problem for Labour, whereas this is not a problem for the Conservatives, this is a damaging issue for Labour.
Absolutely. And look, We've seen real leadership from Sadiq Khan, our candidate for Mayor of London. We should see that from the top. And when we call out the Conservatives for the nasty campaign they're running in London, absolutely right. Decent-minded Conservatives have done the same. But we can't have double standards. We've got to show leadership in our own party, get our own house in order as well.